So Dr. Disrespect just came out with a stream today, and he addressed vividly for the first time the allegations levied at him and that NDA that was violated. The details that I discussed in a couple of earlier Dr. Disrespect videos, in which I went over information about the NDA, and as well as the attempt by Cody Connors to smear him, and an email by a former Twitch employee that exonerates Dr. Disrespect. But we're going to hear from him now. This is from a stream he did today. We're going to hear from him and what he said. And he's going to discuss in length the details about Cody Connors, what happened with that NDA, and all that stuff. So here we go.
The public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. Huh, champs? You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, again, I respected all the confidential obligations.
So this is interesting. So he's saying that if one side violated the NDA, the other side was free to speak and refute. So this is going to be interesting because as we watch the video, he's going to reveal some things, and this is just to show that this is not going to go away quietly. This is only the beginning now, and we're going to see how this unfolds, and I'll give my thoughts as the video progresses. So here we go.
But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages. Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch as Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack. These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs?
he's not wrong there, and that's the thing is when something sensational happens, everybody's quick to just fire up that YouTube channel and fire up that video and hop on the sensationalism of it all and offer their hot takes and all that stuff. I saw it happen with Dr. Disrespect here, and he's going to bring up that. Well, he actually brought up a tweet about the how he used the word minor in that statement when he first addressed the allegations, and he got some flack for it because of him first taking the word out and putting it back in and so forth. But he also put in that tweet how he had inappropriate conversations with that quote unquote minor. And some people took that word inappropriate to mean, oh, see, he confessed to sexting. He confessed it. And I'm like, no, he didn't confess it. He just simply stated that there was some inappropriate conversation. And a conversation can be inappropriate with somebody and not necessarily be sexual, at least not sexual in intent. So to say that inappropriate means he confessed to a crime is wrong on so many levels. It's wrong, especially when he already was exonerated for that. And he talks about that later on in the video. But I talked about in my Dr. Disrespect video that there was an email that he shared in which a former Twitch employee exonerated his side of the story, in that a judge saw the DMs and ruled that there was no sexting, there was nothing graphic shared, there was nothing illegal that occurred in that conversation, and that led to the NDA between Twitch and Dr. Disrespect. And I and many others stated that NDA was a result of Twitch trying to cover their asses, because if it was ever revealed that they have access to those Twitch whisper DMs that they said they wouldn't have access to, it would open themselves up for a possible class action lawsuit, because that means that any message you send out to somebody on a whisper on Twitch can be viewed by Twitch's IT department or their trust and safety department, meaning that they lied about the confidentiality of your messages. So yeah, they could be opening themselves up for a potential lawsuit, but that would be the least of their problems, because they still have to contend with Dr. Disrespect, who is now sharing his side, and also, as he stated, with one side of violating the NDA, he was no longer bound to keep quiet. So, yeah, he's going to go scorched earth.
Without any real journalism and real research happening. They reported on all this based on leaks from two former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are.
That right there, that right there is a low-key threat. Yeah, and just with that little laugh and just that one statement, he's got a lawyer ready to send papers. And good for him. If that's the case, good for him. And this is good, because this is the kind of thing we need to see happen in all these entertainment spaces. After the Ed Piskor situation and how that ended up, we need to have accountability set for not just women, because women do lie, but there's also men simping for these women and encouraging these women to lie about men and weaponize the act of sexual assault, rape, pedophilia, all that stuff, just so they can punish their quote unquote enemies. So if this goes through and Dr. Disrespect does file a lawsuit against these people, that would be an interesting and very monumental legal situation, because it needs to happen. It needs to happen, and there needs to be a legit concrete consequences for this kind of thing. Because as of right now, there is nothing concrete and no legal precedent set for weaponizing sexual assault. And it's just led to the destruction of the lives of many innocent men. And yeah, I hope he does go through with this. So let's continue hearing and let's see what he says about this.
Actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, one, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And two, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images. Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened. I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it was defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
I'm not sure if I believe him in that he used the word inappropriate intentionally to get an intended reaction to see what people's responses would be. But he's not wrong in that the responses did happen. Again, I talked about it before. The word inappropriate. People ran with that and like, oh, see, he confessed to sexting a minor. He confessed to very a sexually charged conversation. And he never used the word sexually. He never used any of those words when he gave out his initial statement on X in response to the post-NDA allegations. But he's correct. People took that word and ran with it. And I had a back and forth with a comic book creator on X. Yeah, X. I hate that. I like the one I used to say Twitter, but that's neither here nor there. But I went back and forth with a creator on X about this because they believe that the word inappropriate was him confessing to sexting a minor. And I'm like, no, that's not what it means. Because if that's what it meant, then he wouldn't be on X talking about it because he'd be facing charges. Like he'd already be serving time because that's illegal. It's a federal crime. So he clearly didn't do that. And as a former Twitch employee had put out in defense of Dr. Disrespect, it was viewed by a judge and it was ruled not illegal. It was ruled nothing in there was sexually charged, nothing graphic. He didn't commit anything wrong. And it's funny, the very people that are all for truth, that are all for like a discovery and getting to the bottom of things and not acting like SJWs, they did the very thing they said they were against. And I have been consistent. I said, wait till the facts come out. Wait till the information comes out before we say anything. We only heard from one side that had an agenda that took advantage of Dr. Disrespect being under an NDA, which he now says he's no longer bound by because with one side coming out and violating it, the other side was no longer bound by it. And he's looking into lawsuits. He's looking into going after people hard legally. And if this happens, people on Twitch better be sweating. I mean, like the trust and safety team, both the former ones that had him ousted and the current ones, because a lot of discovery is going to happen, and a lot is going to be revealed, especially with regards to Twitch violating their privacy clause. If Twitch is able to look at someone's messages, in spite of saying they wouldn't do that, it's going to open up a lot of legalities against Twitch. This is going to be a bomb that's going to drop, and all because people like Cody Connors and other former Twitch employees just couldn't leave things alone. They allowed their egos and their envy to get the best of them, and not because of a small group of people. Twitch is going to be paying a big price, but that's on them. I have no sorrow for them because Dr. Disrespect being another example of a man who was being targeted and had the act of sexual assault weaponized against him, but now he's fighting back. He's doing the thing that Ed Piskor unfortunately could not do. He's fighting back. And he suffered a lot financially. He took a big blow to his business. He got demonetized on YouTube. A lot of business deals fell through because they didn't want to be associated with the current allegations at the time. So you best believe he's going to go for a lot of money on this one, and he's going to break these people. And good for him. If he does, I'm rooting for him because they lied. They obviously lied. It's very clear they lied, and consequences have to be delivered and prices have to be paid. So we're going to be following this because if Dr. Disrespect goes anywhere with this lawsuit and he goes anywhere with this, it's going to set a big precedent for the Molly Dwyers, the Molly Wrights of the world, and all other women who play the Me Too bullshit. And it's going to set a big precedent. It's going to open up a lot of eyes and sound the alarm for those out there, both men and women, who weaponize this shit.
I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words? And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal. You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user.
And there you have it. So, yeah, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of him fighting back. Yeah, this is going to be big. This is going to, and I hope it goes. I hope he takes these bashers to court. I hope that a lot of discovery is revealed, and we're going to see a lot of unethical behavior and practices by Twitch. And when it does, I hope other people who are on that platform are paying attention and they come collect. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, I'm glad that this came out. I'm glad that we're starting now to see we're getting a bigger picture now and more of the truth. And again, a lot of what he said here was verified by that email that I showed in the Dr. Disrespect video that exonerated him. So stay tuned. We're going to see where this goes. I'll follow this. You know, if he does anything that leads to him filing some lawsuits, we're going to cover it here, and we're going to pay attention. And about time. You know, I only wish that that same opportunity was afforded to Ed Piskor, but it went at him too hard, too fast, and he didn't have the resources that Dr. Disrespect had. But regardless, in name, he could still be exonerated. And yeah, it's time to fight back against this shit and set precedent. And you know, if you're a man in that position, always get receipts. Document. And just to be safe, don't even talk to any women on the internet who's not your wife or your woman. Just avoid that problem. Yeah, and definitely document. Stay tuned here, and you know, I will be launching B Citizen Road Warrior Drake on Find My Comic in a couple weeks. So the URL will be roadwarriordrake.com. It's not hooked up there yet. It's not linking there yet, but it will link in a couple weeks. I will launch again Second Chance campaign for Road Warrior Drake, Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake. But thank you for watching, and leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you believe him, if you don't believe him, what your thoughts are. I'd like to hear from you guys. I'm looking forward to reading your comments, and take care.